Hey, what is up everyone? It is good seeing all of you again. Today I have a video planned that, to be honest, I was looking forward to do for a very long time. And the purpose of this video is to talk about what is the future of this account, my social media presence, and where do I try to go with this. Some of you that has been watching me for the last couple days or weeks have noticed that I was getting more active again. And to be quite honest, one of the biggest reasons why I'm here sitting today is because of you out there. Because you, everyone that's watching, has inspired me in the last few days to really keep going. It was amazing to see like old friends reaching out, people sending me messages like, hey, you got this, it's good to see you back. And overall, this feeling is something that really motivated me. And so first thing I want to start off with is by saying thank you. Thank you for giving me the motivation and confidence to keep going. And so with this newfound confidence, I really wanted to take this and use this as an opportunity to build something that I've always wanted to build and really bring my future to a point where I want to go. And so to get into it, I would like to structure this video in a couple of steps. One, give some background, then get into what is my plan, and lastly, what can you expect to see from this account from here on out. But to kind of jump the gun and spoil a little bit, my goal is to build my own business, build my own brand. And how am I going to do this? Why am I going to do this? Let me get into this. So the first thing is, a lot of people probably have seen, my account about traveling. A lot of people have seen, over the last even years that I was studying in the US. And so when I was 18 and I left home and I started backpacking, very early on, I figured out that California is the place for me. I love the beaches, motorcycles, burgers. That's the one for me. But I had to figure out a way of how can I stay here long term. And so going to university is a great way of getting into the country. One, you get a visa for 5 years. And second, after you graduate from an American high school, American college, you will get another visa called OPT. The thing with OPT is it allows you to work in the major that you have got your degree from. So let's say you do biochemist, you can only work in biochemistry. But let's say you do business, you can do anything in business. But here's the catch. A business major, including finance, which is my major, are the only majors after graduating from an American college as an international student that are allowed to start their own business. And I always knew this. I always knew that if I get to the end of these 4 years, I want to start my own business. But in all honesty, I've always thought about, starting my own business already throughout the last few years. But the thing with college is you're very busy all the time. You have assignments, you have work, you gotta figure out life, and it is difficult because your focus rips a lot. So I knew, okay, when I get to the end of my college years, I will have a 1-year visa that allows me to stay in the US and start my own business, basically with no restrictions. At the same time, I am also allowed to have a job. So I could have a job in finance and I can start my own business, which obviously is good for me because when you start a new business, it also needs to generate money. So now I'm gonna switch a little bit into what am I trying to do? So obviously then, in the last few weeks with my Instagram account picking more up, it was also a time where I was like, maybe this is the right time. This is the right time of starting my dream. And my dream was, again, starting my own business over here. And so when I was trying to figure out what is my niche, what should I be posting on a daily basis, I was thinking about gym content, I was thinking about my lifestyle. But honestly, I like being honest, I like being real, and I like showing what I'm doing. And so right now, there's no business. There's nothing that I can rely on. There's nothing built, there's nothing happening. But what is if I do build it and I take all of you with me? I feel one, it's kind of fun to watch, like, hey, we all start from zero and we can do it together. Second, I really hope that I can, show tips and tricks while I build this business, while I'm still learning and figuring it out, in all honesty as well. And thirdly, and most importantly for me, inspire people. When I share my things on social media, it doesn't matter if it's my travel stories or me sitting in my car or pictures, I always want to inspire because all the way back, when I was in high school, I was a little chubby. I was not always the popular kid. I was not always the one, that I did never expect that I would want to live in California one day and have all of these things. And I wish sometimes I could go back in time and show my little self like, hey, everything is going to be fine. That's okay. My story came here. But if I can be that person for someone else out there by showing them, hey, you can start from scratch and you can make it all the way to the top, that would be honestly like a legacy and a life mission I would be very proud of. And something that sky's the limit kind of embodies on my own body. And so what could that mean for the future of this channel? So where I'm trying to go with this is I want to take all of you with me on the journey of starting a business and building my lifestyle. Show every step of the way. Show my planning. Show the systems that I use. Show, maybe we start a business and a couple of weeks in we're like, this one is not the one. We have to switch around. And so you can expect maybe we start a business, the first one, and it's gonna be great. But maybe we also, for like the next few months at a time, we're gonna fail a few businesses. And I'm not afraid of that. That's okay, because I am aware that that's kind of like the nature of businesses. But the point being is figuring it out together. Maybe I can try a few things, that some of you always wanted to see and try. Maybe I can try it for you and see if it works. Feel free to always comment and let me know. Or maybe, I can also share things, again, to show you how you would do these things. Okay, but you may listen at this point and think, okay, you know what, Kamillo, this sounds all cool, but what gives you the credibility of doing such a thing? It's kind of like the question, why do you start now? And the answer to this question is kind of like from 3 points. One is my travels. My travels that a lot of you have seen and kind of like went with me on this journey gave me this really nice edge of knowing how to communicate to a variety of different cultures. And it allowed me to really work on the skill of networking. I love talking to people. I love making new connections. Something that's going to help me grow my business, not just online, but also in person. Secondly is my studies. For the last 4 years, I've dedicated my life and my time to learn everything about businesses from a theoretical point of view. Very proud to say that I was able to finish my college degree with a magna cum laude, which is basically meaning you're in the top 10% of your class. And that's something that makes me happy and gives me confidence and like, okay, you know what? I may have never run a business, but I know a lot of the knowledge associated. So, when I run into problems, I know how to solve them because I at least seen them somewhat in school. And thirdly is my practical knowledge. Because for the last 1.5 to 2 years, I was part of this amazing team called Unleash. And honestly, forever I would be grateful because they have leveled me up as a character, have shown me so many skills and so many valuable lessons of how to run a business, how to do business. And overall, if you ever come across the YouTube channel or like Instagram account Unleash, highly recommend them. Great people. And the reason why I'm bringing them up is because they brought me in their team when we were around 20 people-ish. And while I was there, we grew the startup from around 20 people to over 100 employees. And during my time, I was doing mainly talent acquisition internally, meaning I was hiring a lot of people, really make sure we can scale. I was working very closely with the HR team. And that means really, how can we communicate with such a large team? How can we manage such a large team? And really like understand what systems would you need and use to run a team that's that big. How can you even grow from 20 to 100 plus employees? And so probably one of the most valuable skills I could have ever asked for to really learn how to do business, run a business, scale a business, and what do you need to be successful at the end of the day. Great experience, which allowed me to really understand and look at the business world in a different angle. And lastly, my 2 lovely parents. They're always gonna be one of the biggest inspirations in my life for me. And why? It's because both of them have run their own businesses. My dad is in a family-run business, which is now for 2 generations, and is in the steel manufacturing and hair scissor manufacturing. And my mom is doing merchandise and selling pretty much gifts to company. And so from growing up, business conversations would always be something at the dinner table happening. It was always something part of my life. And business and running a business is something that I really feel runs through my blood. But now it's time to write my own legacy. And so with my networking experience, with my practical and theoretical knowledge, I feel ready to take this next step. And so there's only one or two things left to say here is one, why now? Well, I've already explained my why I have the skills, but my why right now is because my OPT, which is my visa status in the US right now, is gonna last for 1 year. And so that is a period where I can legally have and run a business here in the US and really build it from scratch on. Something that would also allow me, if it is successful, to stay in the US and really live here and move to my dream place for the rest of my life. And so that's my goal, to build a business that allows me to follow my dream and live in the US. I have this absolute beautiful opportunity. I'm done with college. I was able to gain so many experiences since I was 18, from leaving my house to going to college and working in startups to now be young, wild and dumb kind of situation, be free, be able to start my own business and really focus on this. And so why not share this story? You know, I'm not trying to portray a character or a situation where I'm just gonna share, oh yeah, I made like this and this much money, or this is how you run a 10-figure deal or 10-figure business. No, we're gonna start from scratch. We're gonna start together and we're gonna see where this is gonna go. And it's gonna be fun because learning, failing, laughing, crying, it's all part of it. And so we got this. Let me round this video here of like, what can you expect next? What is my game plan? Well, as I said, a lot of the things that we're gonna be doing is figuring it out together. So right now, I'm not gonna get too much into what business are we gonna do, what to expect from kind of businesses, because we still gotta do some planning for that. But let's set some ground rules. One, I know when you try to start a business, a little bit of money is important. So I try to save up $1,000. And from that $1,000, we will try to grow and scale this business and see how far we can go. I will try to, here and there, put in my captions or put like, like a little edit of like, where are we currently? Did we make plus? Did we make minus? You can expect probably in the first, month, two, that we're gonna go lower. Maybe we go higher, but we will have a few expenses, subscriptions and tools and things like that. But the goal is, since we only have $1,000, we gotta be very tight with money management. So keeping it really easy on our spendings, keeping it tight so we can minimize the things that we spend. Then that's rule one. Rule two, trying to stick to an idea and build the idea, but don't marry the idea too early. What do I mean by that? Is there's no point of having an idea and being excited about it for like 3-4 days, and then you don't see it working out and you just skip to the next idea. But obviously all of us are going to engage, right? And if you guys say, Kamillo, this is not great, or it's just not working, and we've been doing this for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and we see potential, we just need some more time, okay, let's keep going. But if all of us mutually agree like, it's not the one, don't marry the idea, move on, right? Be spontaneous, be adaptive. That's the goal. And that's the rules. Try to keep our $1,000 and let them grow. Don't spend too much of those. And second, don't marry ideas, but be persistent and try to stick to one idea. And that brings me to the future of this channel. The future of this channel, you will see me upload a lot of business content, a lot of figuring things out, a lot of how to start your business, how to run a business, and how to run the business that I do, while sharing tips that I learned, mistakes that I made, and how we made it. And along these lines, I will obviously continue sharing some of my lifestyle and fitness and my car and my motorcycle, because hell yeah, that at the end of the day, that's freaking fun. And I love lifting and I love living life and I love, going skydiving, and I will always share these things because they're just fun, and I enjoy, sharing this too. So this should be fun. This should be building a business and living a fun life. And that's where I see myself heading. That's where I'm gonna go next. And now it's time to get building. Let's do this together. And I see you guys in the next video. Thank you for listening.